Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 24 Creator Team Career with the 2013 mod. We are here with McLaren. It is round 4 tonight and we are heading to Bahrain. Hello again. So here we are then at Bahrain, ready for round 4. Our combination of Schumacher and Button is proving to be an interesting one. The driving is pretty good, but the pace of the car just isn't there at the moment. We have some new upgrades for Schumacher in the last race. We've got them on the car for Button tonight. So hopefully his pace will be a little bit better because it was not great yesterday. And we've got more upgrades on the way as well. If we dive into our sort of development queue, you can see we've got another chassis on the way. We've got a Spec 2 underfloor and front wing, and we've also got a Spec 3 side pod coming as well. Most of those, as you can see, coming in 19 days time, so just under 3 weeks until we'll have those, and then a little bit longer for the front wing. But the car has definitely taken a little step forward. Let's see if we can do something better tonight, and then hopefully these bits will give us another big jump forward and bring us closer to the pace of the top 3. So that's the plan anyway. Evening Nexus, evening Tahiti, evening Dino. Good to see you guys. Hello to everyone else who is lurking in the chat as well. As always, please do feel free to say hello, and if you've got any questions, fire away. We'll see what we can do to answer those for you. Let's take a quick overview of the car performance. We had a little bit of a look at this last night in the editor, and it suggested that we might be on for a pretty decent performance tonight, given our strengths against some of the other competitors that we're up against. It's a bit more neutral here compared to what we were seeing in the editor. Again, we see those little discrepancies between what the game tells us and what the editor breakdown tells us. Not sure which one's correct, if either are correct, but we'll take it on faith that the editor is probably more likely to be right than the game itself, because we know how weird the game can be at times. Let's have a quick look at the build queue. We've got some stuff on the way. We've got more chassis, more side pods, and more suspensions. We should hopefully have some spares. Yes, we've got no spare chassis, but we've got spares in every other area as well. Board are expecting yet another miracle, so we do need to get that boardroom upgrade done ASAP. It's just 2 days away, so fingers crossed. That extra race gain boost of an extra 5% will actually kick in just before the race itself, because it's due to complete on the Sunday, and then we might get a slightly favourable or slightly more favourable response from the board based on how we do tonight. They are not happy with results. They are expecting miracles this year. They want us to win the Constructors' Championship, which just is not going to happen. And they have been disappointed with all 3 of our performances so far, despite the fact that we've picked up points in every race so far. And we're not doing too bad in the standings. I mean, we are P5, which kind of fits with where we are in terms of pace. But we're close to Lotus, and then Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull are just way too quick for us, unfortunately. So driver-wise, Jensen currently sits in P8 with Michael in P9. They are level on points, 14 apiece, quite a way behind the Red Bulls, as you can see. So a little bit of catching up to do there. We will hopefully, as I say, have a better performance tonight. So let's jump in and set some targets. Let's see, 6th for Michael. I think we've got a pretty good chance. This is the weird thing. It says our car performance is ranked as 3rd on the grid tonight, but 7th overall. I do not know how the game comes up with these rankings, but we're going to go 6th for Michael, and we're going to go 8th for Jensen. We struggled to get 9th last night. We came out in 10th, but we'll see what we can do.
Welcome along to another exciting weekend of F1 action. McLaren's team principal will be walking on thin ice. The board is getting concerned about their recent lack of results. Stay with us then for what should be an exciting weekend.
Nexus says he might ask Kevin if he wants to make McLaren true chrome or silver. Well, if he doesn't respond, I'll take it. I'd love to see what it looks like in sort of true chrome. We can test it on here, you know, see how it looks, how it runs, see if it gets the approval of the rest of the audience, and then Kevin can add it into an update at some point if he wants to. But yeah, if you decide to do it, send it my way and I will quite happily stick it in and see if it works. See how good it looks. Right, setups and stuff for tonight. Let's start by swapping out car parts. Stick with that ERS. Go to that engine. I think we have to go with that gearbox because we've already destroyed one there. Moving over to the other car. Still on Mark 1 parts or Spec 1 engines, etc., etc. Yeah, we're all good there for Jensen. And then run plan. Let's see, we've got a lot of new parts to learn. Current car part knowledge just 48%. So we need to run a little bit longer than normal. It's normally 17 laps for Bahrain if you want to try and get 2 separate runs in. We are just going to go with 24 laps on this session, and then we will also be running in each of the other 2 sessions as well. And then 24 there as well. Again, we'll do our pace settings. And to the setups. So I can start with a 5, an 11.5, a 7.3, a 3.35, and a 0.6. Try that. And then for our second car, something a little different. We'll try a 4, an 11, a 6.4, a 3.25, and a 0.35. We'll go with that and see how those work. So we've already done everything else that we need to do. Just quickly double check. Yes, yes, yes. And let's send... Ooh, you know what? Yeah, we're not going to put a rookie in. And out they go. So Massa on the set of softs is the first one on track. We're not far behind. Let's
is the radio okay
close
now?
that down because we don't actually need
Copy that, loud and clear.
The leaderboard for practice. There we go. And there we go. Right, let's speed them up. So we have a little bit of F1 news. The teams have kind of agreed on some, or you know, the FIA has agreed on some changes. I think there's like 5 minor changes that are going to be implemented to the rules. Biggest one is going to be for qualifying to try and minimise. Well, 2 main changes really for qualifying to try and minimise that really, really bad lifting and coasting and drivers not really attacking in qualifying. They are reducing the total battery charge available or the total amount of harvesting that can be done from 8 megajoules to 7 megajoules for qualifying. And they are also increasing the amount of energy that can be harvested from super clipping from, I think, 250 to 350 in terms of kilowatts. So that should hopefully allow drivers to attack a little bit more. They'll have a little bit less power to deploy across the whole lap. So lap times will probably be maybe a second or so slower. But there'll be hopefully no big lifting and coasting. And, super clipping, you do that on approach to a corner when the engine's at max revs. So should have a minimal impact on speed going into a corner, hopefully. And will also hopefully help to avoid some of those big, scary speed offsets that we've seen, where a car has come flying into a corner when someone is not pushing and harvesting. Like we saw with Ocon and... Not Ocon, sorry, with Behrman and Colapinto at Japan. Very scary situation. And sooner or later, there will be contact with cars doing that. So, yeah, hopefully those changes will improve qualifying. I'm not 100% certain on what we're going to see long term. There's not a huge amount they can do with the current design of engines. I think they would have to approve a whole new engine redesign for next year, maybe, and that might even be a little bit too soon to do any sort of serious changes. But if they can make qualifying better, that's a good step in the right direction, I think. Evening, Wayne. Evening, Thomas. Good to see you guys.
We saw that.
We will give our boys another little prod with the bottom of our boots. There we go. Actually, I need to check something with the Ferrari. I should have normal helmets back now for the Ferraris. Let's see, is Massa still on track? Yes, he is, and that looks to be Massa's helmets. And it is. Excellent. And Alonso is still lounging in the garage. But I took the Ferrari helmet mods off so that Alonso has his helmet as opposed to Schumacher's helmet, because I'm running Ferrari on my own save in the background. And Massa has his helmet rather than a generic Ferrari Legends helmet. Right, feedback from Michael, or Mickle. We're at 80%, so we got a fair bit of work to do on that car. Let's call him in. And we've got a yellow flag. Ask Kevin if he wants modular helmets as well. Yeah, because the helmets that we've got at the moment are tied to the car rather than to a driver. So if I were to, for example, bring Alonso into this team and put Schumacher in the other team, then Schumacher would have Alonso's helmet and Alonso would have the generic grey. Well, not the generic, but he would have Perez's McLaren helmet that Schumacher's currently wearing. So, yeah, the helmets are tied to the car and to the actual specific car rather than the driver. Yeah, we do have Alonso on track, don't we? We're looking at him. There is Schumacher. So I didn't even realise, Nexus, that you sent me that message on Discord yesterday until about an hour and a half ago. I just I opened up Discord and I saw that message and I'm like, so yeah, that's on me for not checking sooner. Let's see. I think I need to push that up a bit more. Maybe. Let's try that.
Everything
How are
okay?
we looking for Jensen? 91%, so a little bit better. Still needs a little bit of work. But I think that will be an easier thing to fix. So I'm just going to leave Jensen out. Let him do his scheduled run. We'll send Michael back out. There we go. Yeah, I did a lot of testing on this mod for Kevin. Actually, it had already been out for ages, but I sat down and just started play testing it with a view to putting it on stream, and found a whole heap of potential issues and sent them over to him and gave him some recommendations. I went through his database in terms of what stat he got and where, and gave him some updates on ones that he hadn't been able to find the stat listings of who was at what team at what time. And gave him a couple of recommendations on changes to driver stats, which, because he's done a 2012 and a 2014, and I think the plan is to play each one year and then move to the next mod. It makes changing the database or the stats in the database a bit more awkward, I think, because you then have to change it for the other databases as well. But he gave me free access to his 2012 and 2014 mods as a thank you for helping him troubleshoot his 2013, which was very kind of him. I haven't had the chance to actually play through those ones yet, but it's on my to-do list. Evening, Army.
Now we should be able to take a look
Maldonado's
here.
up to.
Oh, all right so far. And the rear just lets go. And there's not much they can do about that now.
I'm going to just, now that you're popping in the chat on a regular basis, Nexus, I'm going to keep firing potential mod questions at you. Is it something that would be possible to change how a car potentially retires in terms of when it goes off? Because I would love to see cars get beached in the gravel and not be able to rejoin. Is that something that could be done? I've been moaning about it. Well, I say moaning. I've been wishing it was something that was in the game for, I don't know, two years now. Seeing cars go off into a, what we know is like a really heavy gravel trap, and then just driving straight off it again like there's no issues whatsoever. And drivers not using escape roads as well. It always bugs me when someone goes off at turn 1 at Spain, and then they just drive straight back on the track and they don't use the designated escape road to rejoin. Just little things like that I think would really help improve the immersion. You know, certain circuits where the gravel is really, you know, proper gravel, like Imola, for example. And you know, getting stuck in those gravel pits and tracks where there are designated escape roads, if they go wide, it would be great if they could use those escape roads as well to rejoin. We got a little bit of feedback ping at the very end there, and there we go. We've improved Mike's. Yeah, not sure what to call him, Mick or Michael. Just go Mike in the end. We've improved Michael's setup to in the 90s now. We've got a penalty that will be applied to Paul Di Resta in qualifying or after qualifying. No other changes there. So that is the end of first practice. And coming up is practice 2. What about engine go boom boom? I believe Nexus is actually working on something for, you know, random reliability failures at the moment. So right, let's go back to a 7.3 on that. We'll try that. We've gone too far on that. I didn't even realise I'd sent Jensen back out. Just must have done that on autopilot. Try that for Jensen. So let's go with 20 laps in this session. Drop those settings down.
Okay, that's green light.
You had a random puncture on lap 1. Yeah, that's something that's been in Unreal Engine. That's something that's been in realistic racing for a while now. Random punctures. We've actually seen a few on stream over the last couple of seasons on our Cadillac file. You know, people getting punctures on lap 2 or 3. Bill, long time no see. Welcome back. I haven't checked the haven't checked overtake today. Let me have a look, see if we've got anything new. Spent the afternoon just playing Banished again.
And here we've got a yellow flag.
So we got yesterday's update was the most recent one. To the 2026 DLC where they took the database out. And the only update was actually just that notification, I think, was added. So nothing new on Overtake today. I'm sure there'll be more stuff soon. We will be playing F1 Legends on stream tomorrow. It's a little bit of a palate cleanser before we go back to our Cadillac file on Thursday. So you can watch me make a complete arse of myself trying to drive tiny cars very badly. Because I'm just not... I'm struggling with it a little bit. Some of the tracks are quite easy to pick up. Others I'm a little bit difficult. And it can be frustrating trying to suss it out. But I don't want to turn on too much in the way of mods. I think let's say mods, assists. I don't think I've got any switched on. I haven't got ABS switched on. I don't think I've got traction control on. But I might be sure. I might be wrong on that. I'm playing it on medium difficulty at the moment, and when I know the track, I'm not too bad. I haven't won a race yet because I'll inevitably make some stupid little mistake. I nearly won my first race the other day at Hungary, and then completely fluffed it. I was just thinking to myself, all I've got to do now is just keep it clean for the final lap, and then immediately had the mother of all shitty laps where I incurred two separate penalties for corner cutting because I got my line wrong, and then crashed, and I ended up finishing in third in the end, having been like 5 seconds clear.
Understood.
I ended up in third. Alright, we've made Michael's car worse. And we've made Jensen's car better. And we'll let them finish their runs. F1 Legends. Was on sale when I picked it up on Steam. I'm not sure if it still is. I saw it was on sale and I wanted to try it, so I downloaded the free demo, played the demo for a couple of days, enjoyed it, and I thought, you know what, yeah, I'll buy it. I've already modded it up with team overwrites, so it's got the right drivers and stuff. Wow, so that is actually a 5.5, which means that's going to have to go all the way up. That's going to need to go up to 4.5. Take that down there. Do that. That might even be a 5. No, not convinced by that. Let's go with that. And we'll go with that. And we'll try that. See if that works. And let's take a look at Jensen. Front wing needs to go down, I think, to a 4. And then push that up. And then we'll push it up and see. We'll probably need to put that back again. sent them out again. I didn't actually intend to do that, but again, just on autopilot at the moment. Evening, Wendy. Yeah, there is a setup website out there. I never use it. A setup calculator thing. I prefer to just get try and figure it out. And if I get it, I get it. And if I don't, I don't. But I don't. I don't use the calculator. If Pharaoh were here, he'd be singing its praises because he loves that thing. Right, I don't think we're going to get full feedback with Michael. We certainly aren't with Button. Actually, we might just. We did just with Michael. And we're off by 1 click of toe. Quelle surprise. So it's Kimmy who tops the session. Let's move into FP3. Needs to go up one more. There we go. Let's take a look at the partial we've got with Jensen's feedback. And yeah, I did click that too much. So we'll drop that down to there. I'm just going to hope that the front wing's good. Everything else was okay. And just 15 laps, medium tyres. And as soon as we get the feedback, we'll call them in because we should theoretically be done at that point.
Sessions should be starting now.
As you can tell, I tend to fidget in my chair quite a lot. Can't really sit still when I'm gaming. Well, when I'm playing on this game anyway, because I'm not actively doing anything. I'm not. I've not got my hands on the controller. I'm not really focused on making sure I get everything right. I'm just sitting back and watching for the most part, and then just grabbing the mouse every now and again. Oh, it's not me just trying to get comfortable. It's just me just fidgeting for the sake of fidgeting. All right, there we go. We are where we need to be with both cars. Car park knowledge has gone up to a whopping 92% from 48, so that's good. And I think our drivers are both now fully prepped. They are. Ta-da! So, we are done with practice. Now we just need to wait out the rest of the session. So, have a little fidget. Raikkonen's up there again. A little concerned about Raikkonen's potential pace this afternoon. That could be problematic in the Grand Prix. It is possible to one-stop this softs to mediums if you've got good enough tyre wear. I was playing this circuit on my Ferrari file earlier, and I one-stopped it mediums to softs. Don't know if I want to do that tonight though. I might just go for the more traditional two-stop. I think pretty much everyone else in the game two-stopped it on the Ferrari save. I don't think any of the AI tried the one-stop. I mean, it works, it's just you can't push. So when you've got a pace deficit, if you're in front and you're able to control the pace for a bit, maybe overheat the tyres of the cars behind you a little bit, then that's fantastic. But if you're not near the front, then they're just going to drive off really fast, come out just behind you, blast away from you, and then by the time you make your stop, you're kind of not really in with a chance of winning. What difficulty do I normally play on saves? In this, hard, always hard. And then it varies from game to game. I do try and play on harder difficulties, but for racing games where I don't know the circuits, I generally try and learn them on an easy difficulty first, but not too easy. Because I feel you don't learn as quickly or as effectively if you're not actually trying to race stuff. So I try and balance it so that there is a little bit of a challenge with the AI, not too great a challenge, while I'm still learning the tracks, and then once I know what I'm doing, then I start to up the difficulty a bit more. Okay, there we go. So in the end, it was Alonso who topped final practice ahead of the two Red Bulls. Then the two Mercedes, Raikkonen finishing ahead of Massa. And still just that one penalty that we know of for Paul di Resta. So that's it for practice. Next up is qualifying.
There's tension in the air today, so it must be time for qualifying.
Drivers need to get into Q3 if they want to make the top half of the grid. With only 10 slots available, it's a fight nobody wants to lose.
And here's a driver there's been quite a focus on recently, Karun, Valtteri Bottas.
They weren't as quick as I expected them to be in practice. They'll want to land better lap times than that today to earn a solid position on the starting grid.
And with that, let's get back onto the track.
Who's got the highest overall in this mod? Alonso. Alonso is the #1 driver in this game, in the 2013 mod, by a fair bit as well, I think. I think he's like 4 points clear, or at least 3 points clear of everyone else. I think he's a 92. I think Vettel is an 89. Hamilton, I think, is an 88 or an 87. Yeah, Alonso very much rated the highest driver here. So we need to potentially swap some bits out. We will switch the engine over. We'll keep the same ERS and gearbox. And then no changes needed there. So out we go. Our two drivers are both rated, I think, 87 overall. But might be an 88. I do have some issues with some of the driver stats. Button's tyre wear, I think, should be better. I think Hamilton's wet weather skill should be higher. I think the Mercedes in general is too kind on its tyres. If I remember rightly, 2013, it absolutely shredded its tyres. Not quite as bad as the previous couple of seasons, but it was still gobbling up the rubber pretty viciously. And they kind of fixed that properly for 2014. They definitely destroyed their tyres at the beginning of the season, as they had done in the previous couple of seasons, but they kind of dialed it out a bit as the season progressed, so it wasn't as bad as the year went on. But yeah, I do think it starts off a little too generous on their tyre wear. So if I was going to do... I mean, I could do it because we're still early in the series. I could make some changes, but I don't know. I feel a bit weird about doing that, given that we've already started it. Let's focus on Jensen for this first run. Change to our sectors and expand it out a bit.
Good window.
Good gap in front.
And let's see if anyone pops out in front of Schumacher. Three cars immediately leave the garage. The second I say, let's see if anyone pops out, we will just about beat Maldonado into turn one there. And we've got a yellow flag. That is one of the Salvers. It's Gutierrez.
There's a yellow flag now.
See,
right, let's have a look
spin
here as we go into turn 8. And round they spin. Not a mistake they'll want to make again.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really simplistic livery design for Sauber. But I like it because it's clean, you know. Still a little bit of flair in it, in the red and white swoops on the side. But it's not overly complicated. I think they did a good job with that. We've got another yellow flag. Oh, it's Schumacher. Great.
Right then, you can take a look now. Right, let's have a look as we go into turn 4. Struggling with the car.
Yeah.
They were just unable
That's
to
cost
do
him
much
a
about
bit
it.
of lap time. At least he was able to sort of keep it going. But it still cost him 1.5 seconds in the opening sector. We've got our first time in from Alonso. A 1:30.5. Very quick out the gate. Bottas 1.3 seconds off. As Gutierrez aborted his run. I think he has because he had a very slow middle sector. Yeah, he's in the pits. He's aborted. Right, one of the Renaults up to the line. That'll be Raikkonen to start his lap. Here comes Jensen. And he goes P2, 6 tenths away from Alonso. We are going to get Schumacher's time on the board. Will help recover some of that lost confidence from the mistakes. And a purple final sector as well. 2 seconds off the pace though. Evening, Arctic. You want a podium? Yeah. The board wants a constructor's win, so podium's the lesser of two evils on that one. Let's see Rosberg. See what he can do. Nice, simple, straightforward first sector, and he goes purple. A little bit of traffic coming up, though. Maldonado and Ricciardo also on a flying lap, and then us on a slowdown lap. Heading back to the garage. There is Schumacher. You'd love to see me hire Vettel or Hamilton. Well, I think Button's out of contract at the end of the... Oh, no, he isn't, is he? Schumacher's contracted for 3 seasons, and the challenge in this series is to try and get Schumacher, his 8th world title before he retires at the end of his contract. So if we do hire Vettel or Hamilton, it's not going to be for at least 3 years. I could hire Kimi. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of drivers I could hire. Webber's retiring from the sport at the end of this season because he's going to disappear and go off and do endurance racing. Here comes Vettel. If we get to 2015, we can see Max in the roster. Yeah, I mean, he's 15 years old in game at the moment. He's, I think he's still in free agency. I don't think he's been picked up by Red Bull yet. Charles Leclerc's also in here as a 15-year-old. But you wouldn't see him on the grid in any shape or form. It's got to be 18. That law was passed after Schumacher was hired at 17 by Toro Rosso. They changed the ruling so that it had to be a minimum of 18. Plus, they need to have completed a couple of seasons in F3 or F2 to get their super license as well. So the earliest we'll see Max on the grid is in 3 years' time. Vettel is top with a 130.1. Little under 2 tenths quicker than Rosberg. Then Alonso P3. Button in 4th is a second off the pace. And we had a bad run for Schumacher on his first run. We're going to send him out again in a second. I'll send him out now. Is that Hulkenberg warming up? Yes, it is. Oh, God. Traffic popping out in front of Schumacher. Or is that actually cars? No, cars going into the garage. That's even better. And through goes the Sauber. So hopefully we'll have a nice uninterrupted build lap here for Michael. We've got the 2 Marussias starting their lap. We've got Gutierrez just crossing the line. He completes his lap to go P8, and Grosjean's gone P5. So those two are both now on in laps. So yeah, we've got a nice little bit of clear traffic now. Satil crosses the line. He goes P14. Teammate DeResta goes 5th. As into the pits goes Charles Pic. Hamilton only P12 on his run. He must have been blocked somewhere. First sector, he was 28.9 in the first sector. So yeah, he lost nearly 1.5 seconds in the first sector. Lost a little bit in the middle sector as well. We will be starting our flying lap with Schumacher any moment. There's a chance a Button might get pulled over here with the blue flag.
Let's go.
Go, go, go. Don't get pulled over. Don't get pulled over. Good lad. So, Chilton goes to P19. Bianchi goes to P17. Webber and Verne are the last two to set a time. They're both on a lap right now. There they are, heading up to the second split. Into turn 13 for Webber. And now for Verne. 27.5 in the opening sector, that's not too bad. Same for Button. And across the line for Webber. Webber goes P2. And Verne goes P12. Coming up towards the back of Hulkenberg now. Let's see if he gets out of the way of Schumacher. Might not need to. Oh, damn it. He is going to block us. God damn it. So both of Michael's runs have been scuffed a little bit. Here, see, we lost half a second in the final sector. Should be enough to get us through, though. So we're not going to run again. We don't have the pace of the front-running teams, but we also have a lot more pace than the teams below us. So we're in good shape so far. Raikkonen is a little bit further away than I was expecting to see.
The fuel on the way in.
Let's see if he can improve in his next run. Keep an eye out for him. Nobody pushing at the moment. Ricciardo's on another outlap. So is Van der Gaards. So is Valtteri. And we've got Webber and Verne heading back into the pit lane now. So let's watch Danny Rick. Is not a great first sector. It's an improvement, but it's time-wise not great.
Stop on the marks and engine on.
Rosberg's out on track, just coming up to the end of the first sector now on his warm-up lap, but it's Hamilton that desperately needs to find a time. He is way off the pace right now. Who was that who blocked us while it's into the pits? It was Hulkenberg again. And Hamilton now leaving the pit lane. He needs to find a lot of time here because he's about to get bumped by Ricciardo, I think. And up to the line. Ricciardo has not done enough, so Hamilton is probably safe. It depends on what Suttil can do. Suttil should have the pace to escape this session, which means that Ricciardo is the one who's going to get eliminated. And then it's going to be Gutierrez or Maldonado, and I would have to say probably more likely to be Maldonado than Gutierrez. Oh, big yawn. So, to avoid potentially being in the drop zone, let's see what time Hamilton can pull out here. And we will ride the ham cam. There's no issue with the car, just got held up in the first sector on the previous run. Did a first sector that was like a second and a half off where it should have been. Then lost a bit of time in the middle sector as well. There's a warning showing beside him. Yeah, it's just the warning is that he's at risk of elimination. It's a purple first sector for Lewis. Much quicker. He did a 28.9 on his first run. So he's already 1.7 seconds up on his first sector. Nice and clean, tidy lap so far. Middle split coming up. Purple in the middle sector as well. And now Vettel goes purple in sector 1 with 27.1. Across the line, it was almost, well, technically it was a clean sweep of sectors until Vettel went through in sector 1. Let's take a look at Kimi Räikkönen. Checker flag has fallen, so anyone who has not started their lap can no longer do so. Oh, Maldonado improves up to P11. Suttil is looking like he's going to be the one to escape. Gutierrez has not improved. Don't think he crossed the line in time to start his lap. So Gutierrez is done. If Suttil can find the improvement that I think he's going to find, then it will be Gutierrez who will join Ricciardo, Pete, Van der Garde, Bianchi, and Chilton. Vettel now goes purple across the board and goes 3 tenths quicker than Hamilton. Räikkönen improves to P8, but he's still slower than Button by 2.5 tenths. That's good. So Adrian Suttil driving towards the line, improves to P14 and does eliminate Esteban Gutierrez. And that is the end of Q1. It is Gutierrez, Ricciardo, Peak, Van der Garde, Bianchi, and Chilton that are eliminated at the end of Q1. Into Q2, we will start with the same tyres that we ran. Oh, did I run new tyres? Must have run new tyres on Schumacher without realising it. Yeah, that's not ideal. We'll use the scrub tyres for our first run here. Jensen out first.
Should be starting now.
There he goes. And out goes Valtteri. And now we'll send up Michael.
And we want to generate some temperature for this outlap.
In fact, looks like Bottas has nipped out in front of Button. Yeah, he has. So this might actually give us the chance to get a slipstream on our run, because we do have a fair bit more pace than the Williams. Which means we might not even need to run again if we get a really clean slipstream run. I mean, we probably will need to run again, but I can live and hope. That is Hulkenberg popping out of the pit lane. Let's see if he blocks us again.
The tyre temperature should be in a good place.
And now we've got one of the Ferraris. That is Massa. We'll get past Massa before turn 1. Di Resta coming out as well. So Schumacher's now got 3 cars he's going to have to get through. No issues for Jensen getting past Hulkenberg. And we're 3/10 up on Valtteri, but we're not close enough to get a toe, so if we do get one, it'll be at the end of the lap. 27.6 for Schumacher as well, but he's slightly quicker than Jensen. Both of the Lotus drivers coming out nose to tail. And Vettel making his way onto the track as well. 7/10 quicker than Bottas in the middle sector. We've definitely got a lot more downforce than the Williams. About Michael. He's up a tenth. And now up to the line, Jensen. And he's 1.4 seconds quicker. Here comes Michael.
Look after the fuel on the inlet.
And Michael 2/10 up over Jensen. So it's Grosjean ahead of Raikkonen. We've got Massa and De Resta both on the lap now. De Resta's on for a really nice slipstream opportunity here. There's Sutil. And he may have possibly cost his teammate a little bit of time there. De Resta, yeah. De Resta is way off Massa, despite having that toe. I mean, it might be that the Force India is just that much slower, but I think he might possibly have been held up by his teammate a little bit as well. Oh, yellow flag, and that is Hulkenberg off. Oh, this is going to hurt Massa. As he gets through, but he's now stuck behind Rosberg. Rosberg gets out of the way. That would have cost Massa just a tiny little bit of time. Nothing too serious, but enough to spoil his lap a little bit.
Remember the pit lane speed limiter. Attack the box.
And just 22.9 in the final sector. Vettel looking quick. Again, as always. Hulkenberg aborts his lap. When you say the car designs, do you mean liveries? Because these are not the old cars themselves. These are the 24 cars. Right, out of the final turns, Vettel is going purple, purple. Is he going to make it purple, purple, purple? No, he's not. But he is 4/10 quicker than Massa. Jean-Eric Verne crosses the line to go P7 behind the two Lotus drivers of Raikkonen and Grosjean. Hulkenberg's aborted lap is still good enough for P10 at the moment while we wait for someone else to cross the line. It'll be Rosberg next. And he slots in just behind Vettel. 19 thousandths difference. Adrian Sutil goes to P6. Next up will be Mark Webber. Ooh, lock up in the background. And that was Maldonado spinning out at turn 13.
It was the Williams driver we see there.
You could hear
And
the tyre
controls
screeching
lost.
from the other end
In
of the
end,
circuit.
just a helpless passenger.
Big spin. Yeah, a situation like that where he got beached in the gravel, that would have been amazing. And that would have been him out of qualifying. There's far too many cars that just go into gravel situations sideways, come to a complete standstill, and then just drive off like nothing happened. So Maldonado has aborted his run. Hamilton goes up to P4 with Webber in P3. And Alonso will be the last one to set a time. Which year's car design or chassis do I like the most? We were talking about this last night, I think. I don't really have an out-and-out favourite. I've got certain cars from certain eras that I like. But I think possibly my favourite of all time, possibly, is the John Barnard designed Ferrari of 1990. Which was a beautiful car. Mute the mic first. Yeah, let me bring it up. Let me prep our drivers for a second run before I do that. There we go. Alright, so I'll pull that up in a second. Let's just get our cars out at the right time, first of all. We've got Maldonado and Vern and I think... No, it's not Ricardo. Ricardo's out, isn't he? So yeah, we've got one of the... we've got Vern, DeResta, Maldonado all leaving the pit lane. I'm going to send Jensen now. You're giving 15-year-old Charles a contract. Yeah, you won't be able to get in for 100 grand a year. It'll probably cost you about 600,000-700,000. Get him in on a 5-year deal. Right, so while our drivers are warming up,
Warm the tyres where you can.
Is the 1990 Ferrari. Absolutely gorgeous F1 car. The Ferrari 641 is the official designation. That's probably my favourite of all time. But it's very, very tight. It's a gorgeous F1 car. Nice simple livery as well. You had the Ferrari badge here on the side pod by the air intake. You had just Fiat on the side pod with, I think, Agip next to it, and then you had the Marlboro on the airbox at the back. Yeah, gorgeous car.
Drive straight out, track will be clear.
Let's go.
Move that off screen. As far as I know, those were imported from other games, as far as I know. So I don't think he actually designed and built those models himself. Right, closing out our laps. We are safe for now. Bottas is out, Grosjean is out, Verne is out, Hulkenberg's out, Maldonado's out. Raikkonen has a chance to escape. Button improves to P4, and we're only a tenth and a half away from Vettel's time. That's encouraging. Let's see what Schumacher can do. He's down a couple of tenths on Jensen's time here. Alonso looking very quick in the first sector. Will catch the end of his lap as well. Schumacher improves, and he's 2.5 tenths away. He's a tenth behind. Let's see how quick Alonso goes. Raikkonen does improve at the expense of Di Resta, because Sutil has improved as well. So Paul Di Resta is out and will join Bottas, Grosjean, Verne, Hulkenberg and Maldonado. And Alonso goes top by a tenth at the end of the session. That is Q2 done. Both of our drivers have made it through to Q3. And let's see if we're only a tenth. Well, let's say we were only a tenth and a half away. We're now 3 tenths away. But could we possibly challenge for pole? Or maybe a second row. I think that might be a little more likely. A second row might be something that would be achievable, attainable. We will find out in just a moment. Arctic smells a podium. Are you sure it's a podium? And not just your socks. Right, let's start with a set of scrubs for the first run, and then a new set of tyres for the second run. Can we make it to the second row or higher? Would be a nice achievement if we could.
Okay, that's green light.
Out goes Kimi. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember seeing something somewhere about those models being imported from somewhere else, maybe like Assetto Corsa or
And we want to generate some temperature for this
one of the older F1 games, maybe. All right, Massa and Hamilton also making their way out. Massa coming up to turn 4. Hamilton just leaving the pit box now. And out comes Sutil. What do I think of Paul? I think Paul Di Resta was a decent driver in sports cars, not a great F1 driver. Right, Alonso and both of the Red Bulls coming out of the garage.
Good gap in front.
Evening, MGL.
Let's go.
And that's Rosberg leaving his pit box now. Oh, we're going to get blocked. Yes. Little lift through turn 2. Looks like we made it into turn 1 ahead of Rosberg. Seven. Raikkonen got blocked very badly. Button did not get blocked, maybe fractionally on the exit of 4, but nothing too serious. So he's up by 3/10. Raikkonen a couple of tenths quicker than Schumacher in the middle sector. Button even quicker. So Schumacher will go top, and then we'll get displaced by Raikkonen. Well, no, actually, he'll be quicker than Raikkonen because of that first sector. And then Button will go top. So both of our drivers will be in peak confidence at the end of this first run. There is Michael across the line, 131.1. 1.3 seconds quicker than Kimi. Here comes Jensen, and he is 7.5 tenths quicker.
Currently P1. I can recharge on and box this lap.
Let's see what Massa does. We're up about 4 tenths so far over Massa. It's 5.5 tenths in the end. So that's a really good first lap for Jensen. Here comes Lewis. And Hamilton goes top by just under 2/10 of a second. Also with a purple first sector. Had a little bit of traffic to get through though. Let's see what his middle sector's like. He's got more traffic ahead as well. Raikkonen diving across the track like that is certainly not ideal. And yeah, that's down. That's not a good middle sector at all. Sutil is in P5, 2 seconds off. Sorry. Here comes Alonso. we've got Vettel and Webber coming through as well. Alonso is 7.5 tenths off. Here comes Vettel. Vettel's P3. Webber is P5. So Hamilton is on pole for now. Rosberg about to cross the line to complete everyone's first runs. He had a bad run as well. He's a second off the pace. We are currently sitting pretty close to Lewis in P2 right now. And we know Schumacher got blocked. So there's more pace potential in Schumacher, especially with fresh tyres. I don't think we're going to get to stay on the front row, because it wasn't the cleanest of runs for either of the two Red Bulls, especially with them running so close to each other as well. But I still think we might have a chance at a Road 2 start here. Evening, Daniel. You're 1/10 from Q2 in a Caterham. That's pretty close. Caterham are definitely an easier start than, in terms of performance anyway, than Marussia. Marussia absolutely are the worst team in the game for this, well, in this mod at the start of the year. But I do think they have some better facilities overall. As Rosberg makes it back to the pits. So now it's a question of when do we go? Do we have the upgrades? Yes, we do. So all the upgrades that Schumacher was running in the previous race are now on Jensen, and they both have a brand new rear wing here as well. As Raikkonen and Massa are the first ones to blink. We will go probably in about 10-20 seconds or so. Wait till they hit the end of Sector 1. There goes Hamilton. And there goes Alonso. Interesting. We popped out right in front of Webber. So that might potentially damage both of our laps here. And that's everyone now out of the garage. As Rosberg is once again the last one to leave. He may end up getting in the way of Massa and Raikkonen here at some point on their laps.
straight out. Track will be clear.
You're a good drive on the lap.
And it looks like Rosberg's actually going to be passed in a very comfortable position. Hamilton's gone purple in the first sector. Let's see what Schumacher does. He comes out of turn 4. Turn attention to Jensen. Just a tenth behind, not too bad. Button 27.4. I've got Webber close behind. There he is. Another purple sector for Hamilton. He's going to push pole position well out of our reach here. So we're down about 4/10 with Schumacher at the moment. Hamilton crosses the line and improves by half a second almost. Alonso to P2. I think he's just going to pit Michael. He does, actually by a bit more than I thought, by a second, by a tenth of a second. Here comes Jensen, who has not improved enough. Just trims a tiny bit off his time. We're still quicker than Webber. Vettel looking very quick. It's the first sub 40-second middle sector we've seen all weekend. Oh, and he sneaks pole by 88 thousandths of a second. Button gets bumped off the second row down to 5th. Schumacher's still just clinging on in 4th. We've got Rosberg still to come. And he's only good enough for P7. So we will start this Grand Prix in 4th and 5th. That is excellent. That gives us an opportunity to pick up some good points today and maybe, just maybe, get an attaboy out of our board. Who knows? Let's see the amended grid, see what happens with the penalties.
Here in Sakir, the floodlights are on, and it's nearly time for 57 laps around the Bahrain International Circuit.
Bahrain has seen some of the most dramatic races in F1, like Sergio Perez's incredible 2020 victory, surging ahead from being last on the opening lap.
The Bahrain International Circuit is a challenging track, and the cars routinely have to brake from high gear to low to take the narrow turns. With the need for downhill braking, the risk of locking up is one drivers will need to manage. It's all about focus and balance to get victory here. Tension continues to build here as race day begins.
Okay, let's take a look at the qualifying grids. So just that one penalty for Paul di Resta. It's 5 places. That drops him down to 16th. Nobody else has any kind of penalties or changes. So it will be Vettel from Hamilton on the front row, Alonso and Schumacher on row 2, Button and Massa on row 3, then Rosberg and Webber row 4, Raikkonen and Sutil in row 5. Let's take a look at strategy. So we've got 2 ways that we could approach this. We could try and pull off a 1-stop here. It is doable. It's not that uncomfortable in terms of, you know, tyre wear, but it's not amazingly quick. The other option is that we just go super aggressive. So let's start with a set of mediums on full push, like that, and then we can go aggressive on the softs. Temperatures might become a little bit of an issue, so having a little bit of wiggle room is ideal, but we could look at that as a two-stop strategy. It's 8 seconds quicker than a one-stop. The other alternative is that we start on the softs to at least give us some grip off the line and in the first stint, and then go to a set of mediums with a view to jumping off those and putting on a set of softs if we get a late on safety car or VSC. Tempted to try that. I think we will try that, I think. We'll see what our pace is looking like after about 5-10 laps, and we might start just going hell for leather and pushing. Or we could maybe even throw on a set of hard tyres here. We'll see what we can do with these softs. But we'll look at a one-stop, I think. Let's see. It is 57 laps. We're going to take just the 1 lap of fuel. I don't want to do too much in the way of fuel saving. We will naturally recover probably at least a lap's worth of fuel over the Grand Prix. There we go. So 56 laps of fuel. Full attack off the line, starting with softs and then looking to try and stretch them enough to make a one-stop effectively viable. That's everything we need to do there. The start of the Bahrain Grand Prix is next.
Final checks are being carried out by the teams, and it won't be long until we get this race underway. As we get closer to the race, will the McLaren be fancying their chances in this one?
That's a solid position starting in P4 today, but they're going to need a perfect strategy to stay up there.
And it'll be exciting to see just what will happen here today. And this is it, the Bahrain Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Hamilton got a slow start. He got jumped by Vettel and Alonso, and it held up Schumacher as well. Ooh, avoiding action. Rosberg has snuck up the inside of Button. Button's got the place back. Yeah, not a great start. We kind of got blocked in a little bit in the run to turn 1, and then nearly lost a little bit coming out of turns 2 and 3. Give me a snake killer. make sure we don't get dropped in these opening laps and let them run away from us if we're going to make this one stop work. If they get too far ahead, then we have a zero chance of fighting for the win or possibly even a podium.
DRS enabled.
Vettel off to a
That's
very
P5.
quick start. Alonso getting left behind a little bit. And Hamilton down 2 places from where he started.
.4.
No, down 1 place. Just about hanging on to Hamilton's DRS here. There we go. Right. Let's hope that we don't get dropped while we're cooling the tyres down now.
More lift and coast.
I do think we are going to get dropped. We can keep the pace balanced, and that'll still keep us in a decent position. Tyre performance will start improving again now that the tyres are coming down in temperature. Keep an eye on Rosberg. Van der Garde started on mediums. Everyone else started on the soft tyres. I'm pretty sure the rest of the grid is going to go with a 2-stop strategy here. So, yeah, we've been dropped. We don't have the pace to keep pushing if we want to do a 1-stop. So now we just need to make sure we don't fall too far behind. And we need to try and keep Rosberg at bay as long as we can as well. Let's focus in on Button. Vettel's just checked out. Look, he's 3 seconds ahead of Alonso. And you give him an opportunity to build up a lead like that, and that's pretty much race over, I think. Unless Alonso can break away from Hamilton, I don't think he's got much chance of being able to go after Vettel, because he'll have to keep one eye on his mirrors. with Hamilton just flirting with that DRS zone. Oh, there we go. We've got a puncture from Maldonado. So, yeah, just a random tyre failure. There we go. We were talking about that earlier. So that's Maldonado's race done. To be fair, not that he had much chance of doing much today anyway. I doubt he'll go for hards now. He'll probably go. It looks like he's going for mediums. He'll probably go. Oh no, he's going softs. I thought I saw mediums. He may well go soft, medium, medium now. See, I half expected him to go medium, medium for the rest of this Grand Prix. So Vettel is about 4 seconds clear of Alonso. See Rosberg and Massa. With Webber also looking a bit frisky in the background.
Has DRS, 1 second.
Go on board with Webber. Have an opportunity at Massa here. Quite close enough though. Someone asked me a question about Middle East circuits earlier. I'm just scrolling back to see if I can find it. Chance. And see Nico also trying to make the move on Jensen. Ooh, Button. Not Button, sorry, Webber. Having to really back out of that.
Overtake available.
I can't find the question, but I think it was which is the best Middle Eastern circuit, and it's Bahrain. It's provided them the best race, the best racing consistently out of all of the Middle Eastern circuits that we've seen.
rechart, John, please.
Oh, where was it? We are potentially getting a new Korean Grand Prix. And guess what? It's gonna be a street circuit. Because that's what we need. We need more street circuits. So sick of just every time we get a new circuit, it being a street circuit. Can we not get some proper racetracks on the calendar, please?
He has DRS.
It's supposed to be the pinnacle of
Time management all good so far.
single-seat motorsport, and yet we don't race at any proper tracks anymore.
Overtake available.
Nothing's been confirmed yet, but a feasibility study was carried out, and it is financially viable to do a street circuit event in South Korea again. Ooh, yellow flag as Di Resta goes very wide. Lock up
Let's
into
have
11.
a look at that. Here we are then at the 11th corner. Very heavy on the brakes. Just unable to control the car by that point.
I am curious to see whether or not Kyalami can get its grading up. That circuit's definitely fallen into a bit of decline over the last however many years it's been. But it is trying to get its work, refurbish itself back up to grade 3, so it can host some motor racing events, and then it'll try and from that point push on to grade 2 and then grade 1. It needs to be a grade 1 for it to be in Formula 1.
Use the pace now.
Even Foamy.
Has DRS.
No cash in the Forest of Spa. 10 years, there'll all be street circuits in the richest cities. Yep, pretty much. Or hybrid cities, hybrid circuits like Vegas and the Madrid, where a small section of it is custom built for the Grand Prix itself, and the rest is just public roads that get blocked off for the Grand Prix. Evening, Johnny. That's why I was so excited when I saw that, at first, when I saw that Portimao was coming back, because Portimao's a proper circuit with actual character, but then I realised it was coming back in on a timeshare basis, effectively, with Spa. So, can't take away one of those street circuits. How far behind are we? About 10 seconds behind Vettel. Still within 3 seconds of Hamilton. So Schumacher's definitely looking like he could be on for a podium today. The fact that Button is frustrating Rosberg is helping. And of course, as soon as I say that, Rosberg immediately overtakes us and pushes this off into the sand as well. Charming.
Plenty to play for.
Okay, keep looking after the tyre. Recharge on is good.
And that's what annoys me as well. I mean, with Formula One, I mean, there are so many great
P6.
American circuits that we could have gone to, but
And 1.1.
instead we got a street circuit, you know, in a car park in Miami, and a street circuit in Vegas. And I mean, the Vegas Grand Prix is not a bad circuit as a spectacle, and it's provided some interesting racing. But I mean, we could have had proper circuits. I mean, just to throw out a few, you've got Road America, you've got Watkins Glen, you've got Laguna Seca. Just off the top of my head. Oh no, I would love to see Sepang back. Sepang was fantastic. It's one of Tilke's best tracks, but it was government funded, and there's just no money from the government anymore. Organisers can't put it on without significant subsidies. So unless that changes, it's unlikely we're going back there anytime soon. I don't know why people hate the Malaysian Grand Prix. The Malaysian Grand Prix was a great track, and it provided some fantastic racing as well. And of course, with that climate, you know, you would get some huge downpours there as well, which could really change that race quite dramatically. Yeah, I love Sepang. I think it's a fantastic circuit. And of course, who can forget the infamous Multi-21? Yeah, Sochi was boring because it was just flat. I mean, it had some very fast-flowing corners, but it was just all flat, built around the Olympic venue. And Valencia was just awful. It was just a horrible Grand Prix. Turkey is another track I would love to see back on the calendar as well. Turkey's a great track. Some really challenging corners. Turn 8 is such a great corner, and it's been replicated so many times now by Tilke. He replicated it at Sochi. He replicated it in Korea. He replicated it at Kota. And that would be all up for a return to the Nürburgring as well. That's a great circuit. But it's all sports car racing and LMPs now. Fuji needs to come back. Nah. No. Not at the expense of Suzuka, it doesn't. Suzuka is a much better track than Fuji. So lap 15, Vettel leads now by over 7 seconds from Alonso. This is looking like it is going to be a runaway victory for Sebastian. Hamilton in third, 2.5 seconds back. Then it's Schumacher 3.5 seconds further back from him. Rosberg in fifth, Button a couple of seconds back in sixth, with Webber closing in now. Massa is eighth. Then it's Raikkonen and Grosjean rounding out the top 10. There's been talk of the Indian Grand Prix trying to find its way back on the calendar as well. I think personally we need to get a race back in France, but it isn't Paul Ricard. I don't know whether Magny-Cours would suit these new cars, but I mean it would suit them better than Paul Ricard would. Seems strange seeing no German Grand Prix with so much of the sport dominated by German tech. It's strange not having a French Grand Prix when you know, a lot of the drivers are French.
Overtake available.
Okay, to push.
Let's try and pull away from Webber a little bit, see if we can get closer to Rosberg again. Manicourt's too narrow. Well, so is technically Suzuka. Suzuka's quite a narrow circuit. So was Imola. And Imola was on the calendar for years. It was on the calendar for, what, 5 years? After making its pandemic comeback. Right, first blood at the top 10 is Raikkonen in the pits for a new set of soft tyres. F1 follows the money. It's always been that way since the days of Eccleston. And that's why, hosting fees just went up exponentially. It's why we had a sudden rash of new circuits as the older tracks dropped off the calendar, because new circuits came in with bigger and better facilities and bigger and better, hosting fees.
Recharge on is good.
We couldn't get back onto Rosberg, but we did get away from Webber again. At least they should keep the finale in Brazil. Well, for the longest time, it never was. As Houghton is into the pits, it was never Brazil. Brazil used to be quite early in the season. For a while, Suzuka was the final race of the season. We also had Adelaide before it switched over to Melbourne. Was the final race of the season for a while as well. Brazil traditionally used to be quite early in the calendar. Need a race with changeable conditions for the finale. I don't agree that you need to have changeable conditions for the finale. I think what you need to have is a fight going into it, whether it's dry or not, or wet or not, or a bit of both. You need to have a fight. You need to have a championship that isn't, all but done. In a few years, the FIA will introduce fake rain. No, I don't think they will. Bernie toyed with the idea about 10 years ago and was immediately booed out of the building. But he was suggesting putting sprinklers up alongside the track to artificially, put water over the track at random points in the Grand Prix. That was around the same time as he was looking at replacing the point system and the current trophy system with just medals, and whoever had the most gold medals at the end of the season won. Yeah, Bernie came up with some very out there ideas towards the end. Ironically, we did kind of get one of his things. We got medals for the sprints, and now drivers get medals as well as trophies for the race. I think that's more because the teams generally, unless you're an extremely talented driver with a very good contract, teams generally keep the race trophies. So the medals at least give the drivers something.
Oh no! That's a slow pit stop there.
An issue for Peak. What a shame. Rosberg's in. So, lap 20. We are currently 16 seconds off the lead with Schumacher, 21.5 seconds off the lead with Button. So Schumacher will stay ahead of Vettel when Vettel boxes. Button might not. Oh yeah, the AI is going to two-stop this. All right, Vettel's in the pits.
Use overtake.
Oh, it's a bad stop. It's a bad stop.
We are ready for you.
Button will get through, and I don't think he would have done. Would have been tight if that hadn't been a bad stop. As Vettel just bullies his way through. Past, is that Bianchi? No, it's Pete. It's Chilton. Valtteri into the pits. And now Alonso in from the lead. He's still going to come out behind Vettel, but the gap should be a little bit less given that delay on Vettel's stop. Pretty decent stop for Alonso. There goes Vettel. And it's going to be close with Hamilton. Hamilton's going to get him. Here we go, Hamilton through into P4. As we make our way past Bianchi. And there is Vettel.
DRS.
Let's just try and hold him up as best we can.
You need to push.
No, he's got us. He's got us at the inside. Ooh. Bottas making a mistake. That yellow flag might hold Vettel back.
Yellow's here.
We've got a yellow flag here.
Nope. It didn't.
There are opportunities ahead.
And that's Hamilton there right behind
Car
us.
behind is Hamilton.
And we missed what happened to Valtteri as a result of that. And we're already 2 seconds behind, look. Hamilton's going to go sailing past here, and Alonso's there as well.
Okay, we don't want to lose too much time.
Alonso is now the car behind.
We can pause, yeah. I just I've got to remember to actually physically pause the game to do that. Let's ignore that for now. We're going to go a few more laps yet. A couple more laps at least.
Still plenty of opportunities.
Puncture for Di Resta. Yeah, I'm just looking at them now. Now, is that Di Resta puncture down to actual just bad tyres, or did he just get unlucky? Where is Paul Di Resta? There he is. Look at that, they're nearly new tyres. So that random puncture there is going to completely mess up his strategy. The rest of his tyres are just around 90%. Going for softs, which means he'll be stopping for another set of softs later, I would imagine. There goes Michael. So that is Di Resta a lap down now as well. Right, can we actually keep Vettel at bay for another lap or so? We've got just about a full battery now as well for Michael, which is good. From when we come out of the pits. can push the tyres to pace. We could, but I want to try and stretch these softs another few laps yet, just so we've got more grip to play with the mediums. Because the other guys are going to be coming out on softs and they're going to have more pace than us. You know, I say that. You know, Vettel and Hamilton are going to be on softs for the final stint. Alonso will be on mediums. Rosberg will be on mediums. Webber will be on softs, as will Massa. And given that our tyres will be, you know, fairly worn by that point, there'll be so many seconds of that faster than us. So the more we can just eke these tyres out, the better. Remember, we're not really competing for the race win. We're trying to get on the podium. To do that, we've got to keep Hamilton back as much as we can, but also, more importantly, Alonso. Alonso is going to be, I think, our biggest issue, or our biggest rival for the podium. Same with Hamilton ahead of Alonso, and Hamilton with a set of softs to come. I would expect him to be ahead of Alonso.
Okay, maximum pace.
Alright, we've got enough of a gap between our two drivers to be able to do this. We just got hit, didn't we? Oh, no, we locked up.
No.
Look at the McLaren driver here. Things were all right here. And the car just locks. And hopefully there's not too much damage to the tyres.
Let's not push our luck on the way to the pits.
Okay, keep looking after the tyre.
Recharge on.
And we are frustrating Alonso here, which is good. All right then, into the pits we come with Michael. For our one and only scheduled stop. 2.5, it's not bad. I would have preferred something a little quicker. 2.6, which is even slower for Jensen. So we're not looking to get much in the way of pit stop points today, I don't think. Schumacher comes out in P8. Just behind Kimi Räikkönen. And Button out just behind Roman Grosjean.
Your P10 is 1.3 behind. Pack is high. And reminder for the recharge button.
Yes. Don't forget the button. So now we need to start paying attention to the lap times. As the tyres are almost fired up. So Vettel and Hamilton are doing 1:35.4s. Let's see what we do at the end of this lap. Past the halfway point of the Grand Prix now. Still need to save 1.4 kilos. So we saved about a kilo so far. We'll have to do a little bit of fuel saving, but nothing too drastic. I'm going to turn the batteries on the next lap. So let's see what our pace is like with the tyres up to temperature. Well, 35.1. That's slightly quicker than the front two, so that's not too bad. Right, let's push the battery. And let's go hunting.
Use overtake.
Right in this DRS here. Just about, I think. Yes, we did. So can we get him into 11 here? It's all about brakes, and he's got that extra little bit of grip on those soft tyres. Hangs it around the outside. Okay, we will ease off a little bit. Button on Grosjean. also is going to back off a little bit. In fact, we'll actually go back into harvest mode here. Jensen.
Key thing is to keep the tyre in good shape. Keep the tyre in good shape.
Okay, recharge on.
There's still opportunities here.
Evening, Adrian. Right, we should just about have enough
Use the
battery to get
overtake
past
button.
Kimmy here. Kimmy drifting a little bit, but we are alongside him. There we go, move is done. We should have the DRS as well to get it straight onto the back of Massa. And we do. Lovely stuff. Button getting pushed out of it there by Roman Grosjean.
Free
Got to
charge
turn
on.
his tyres back up.
Overtake available. .9.
Are you
Like to
offering
play for?
files to me there, Foamy, or are you offering them to Nexus? Where are they? Where'd you send them?
Gap 0.7. Okay, we don't want to lose too much time.
Evening, Dino. You don't see where you can teleport to 2026 in the editor. It's been removed due to instability in the database. They are working on a fix. I'll take the 25 because I'm not going to be putting the 26 models back on for a little while. Not until I've finished my Cadillac series.
still plenty of opportunities.
All right, Raikkonen's into the pits. So this will be him putting on mediums to go to the end. Right, we need to get past Grosjean quickly. Try and get our way through on this lap, because we're definitely getting held up now.
You can use overtake.
Schumacher is closing in on Massa. Let's get a little bit more battery saved. Evening, Michael. Just started the 2026 Cadillac Series, currently on round 2. Noticed I was live.
We think there's still opportunities here.
Gotcha. Yeah, the Cadillac Series that we were going to do for 2026 is actually the 2026 showcase on Friday was not the start of the series. We won't be starting that for another few weeks because we've still got our current Cadillac Series to finish off, and that's another 3 weeks or so before that's done. So it's just an opportunity to show off the new 2026 stuff over a couple of races. All right, we are through on Grosjean, and he's into the pits. So we got that overtaking just in time to get the little bit of extra confidence back for overtaking him.
Recharge on.
Now we need to get Schumacher past Massa. Yeah, with our main Cadillac Series, that's in Season 6 right now. 7 rounds to go, 6 rounds to go, something like that. That'll be back again on Thursday. Little jink into the inside there in the braking zone. That completely kills our momentum there. Don't think we'll be close enough to get him into turn 4. Well, we might do. No, we're not going to get him there. Losing time again. Just commit to getting this overtake done. Massa's probably going to go another couple of laps before he boxes. There we go. Let's do a little bit of fuel saving with Jensen.
It's just increased Lyco.
Rosberg's into the pits. We'll get out ahead of him, at least with Schumacher. We won't, I don't think, with Jensen. Just lost too much time. close look. Lost too much time behind Grosjean, and then that killed any chance we had of staying ahead of Rosberg. So, are we on course for a podium? Not at the moment, no. Alonso is too far ahead. It's about 25 seconds ahead of us. Not going to be long till he stops as well. Just want to try and get away from Massa a little bit. Don't have any battery to help me with that, so I'm going to have to leave it down to tyres. Maldonado's in for his final stop. So the mediums for him. And a bad stop. Very bad stop. Sutil in from P11 and Hulkenberg in from P12. Meanwhile, did we break the DRS? I think we did. Yes, we did. And Vettel's in. He's going to get out a country mile ahead of us. So now we need a safety car if we want to try and contest Alonso's into the pits as well, and I think Alonso's going to get ahead of us. It's going to be on mediums rather than softs for the final stint. Ever there was a hope for a slow pit stop, it was there, and it just didn't materialise. There's Schumacher. I mean, our targets are fifth, 6th and 7th today. So Massa still needs to stop again. Webber still needs to stop again. Hamilton needs to stop again. But we're too far behind Hamilton. We've got a chance of getting P7 with Jensen. Still got some battery left as well. Let's use it now.
Use overtake.
How have I edited the window on the left? It's a mod. It's available on Mod Hub. Not Mod Hub. It's available on Overtake. It's linked in the video description down below. And there are different variations of it inside that file. So you download that file, you'll get a few different, I think you get 3 different versions that you can use. You've got to make sure that you remove the other 2 when you stick it in the packs file. Choose the one you want, take the other 2 out. Otherwise, you'll have 3 different mods all trying to compete with each other, and they'll probably crash your system.
Recharge on.
Oh yeah, it works with other mods. It just won't work with any other mod that also works on the leaderboard. There's a couple of different variations of leaderboard mods. There's the one that I'm using. There's also the extended standings mod as well. Oh, your mod manager has a conflict checker, does it? I didn't know that. All right, Alonso and Hamilton side by side into turn 1. We have a yellow flag in sector 3 as well.
And here we've got a yellow flag.
Spin for Adrian Sutil.
All good at this point. That's it. That's the spin. Oh, dearie me, you don't want to be doing that.
So Hamilton able to get out and stay ahead of Alonso. And with those soft tyres, he's now favourite to finish second. Still waiting on Webber to stop. We're inside his pit window, so we will get past him. Button will also be ahead of him. But Webber will be putting soft tyres on and will be quick. Alright, we've done fuel saving. We are good to go now. We'll go a couple more laps and then we'll turn the tyres up a little bit as well. New fastest lap for Sebastian Vettel, 133.0, as Paul Di Resta is into the pits. Safety car now would change things. It would not help Jensen, because Webber would be able to box and stay in front of him. Massa's in for his final stop. Excuse me, very tired at the moment. Got up way too early this morning. Goes your Bianchi. So Massa on soft tyres comes out in P9. And he is 16.5 seconds or so behind Jensen. But that gap will come down very quickly. Is Rosberg lapping faster than me? Yeah, by a lot. So even P4 is not assured here for Schumacher. I would expect Webber to come in at the end of this lap, maybe. Let's keep an eye on him. We'll turn our tyres up now.
Let's see what pace you can do.
And yeah, Webber does come in as predicted. Soft tyres go on. Here comes Jensen. There goes Jensen. Welcome back, Vita. So we're P4, but under pressure from Nico Rosberg. Schumacher's teammate last season. Before bowing out to make way for Hamilton. Don't think we'll be able to keep him behind us. And Button is just 5.5 seconds ahead of Webber. Who is on those soft tyres. That's going to be a challenge. Attempting to go through was Rosberg, but that was some good, solid defensive work there from Michael. Squeezing him. I don't want to do it too early because it will slow us down and that will just give everyone else a chance to close up as well a bit too quick. We've got some battery. I'm hoping we can just defend normally. Use the tyre and our little reserves of battery to keep Rosberg at bay. The problem is that the main straight's quite wide, so it's very hard to actually stay ahead on the main straight if someone tries an overtake. High defense works in most places, but not on the main straight, not really. And all you do is just slow yourself down. Webber less than 4 seconds behind Jensen now. There is Webber. Slowly reeling us in. Let's go back to Schumacher. Just half a second ahead of Nico Rosberg. Some good defensive driving, some good basic defensive driving, allowing us to keep the pace up a little bit. Webber is definitely closing in on Jensen now. Massa's not been as quick as I was expecting him to be. So we might still be able to hang on to P7 after all. Because Raikkonen doesn't look like he's got the pace at the moment. And Massa has to make his way past Raikkonen before he can even think about coming after us. We have just over 10 laps to go. And there we go, straightforward
opportunities
overtake from Mark Webber.
Well, we're at turn 11 now. The opportunity's there.
Too much overspeed in that Red Bull, and way much more grip than us with those soft tyres as well.
And that puts them in 6th.
He hasn't blitzed away from us already, though, so we might... Well, actually, no, he has now. I was going to say, we might have a chance to stay with him for a little while, but he immediately blitzes away from us. We've got nearly 9 seconds, though, back to Raikkonen.
We have blue flags.
As Webber sets a new fastest lap. 1:32.0. And a lock-up for Paul de Resta.
Let's take a look at the replay. So here we go, heading into turn 1. And the car fails to respond.
He
By
nearly...
that point, it was
He
just
nearly
too late.
hit Nico Rosberg, which would have sent Rosberg into the back of Schumacher. So that was, that was very, very close. We went for the one stop and still couldn't gain places. I didn't expect us to. I mean, this is a power circuit, so controlling your pace, will make the tyres work, but you won't be fast. And if you don't have a fast car to counteract that, you've got an average car, which, we are technically an average car. Then you're just going to get overwhelmed by fresh tyres when they catch up to you. All right, we've got a fault developing for somebody. It's Satil. I don't know why I've clicked that one,
And
not
as
hearing
far
the
as
audio.
we can tell, they've got a...
All right, so Rosberg gets through and immediately blitzes away from us. We do just about keep the DRS. But it looks like it's going to be P5. Our target's P6. So if Webber does catch and pass us, at least we'll still be able to hang on to P6. Raikkonen is 7.5 seconds behind Jensen. And I do have a little bit of spare tyre. We're going to start to push the tyres a little bit now. We didn't defend. There wasn't really much point trying to defend against Rosberg.
We want good pace.
It would have slowed us down so much that Webber would have just jumped us already. Our best chance was to try and just stay ahead normally. At least now we have a small chance of maybe staying ahead of Webber. Because by the time he does catch up, it's more laps put on his tyres. So they won't be quite as good. It's all about making people work hard for it, but without completely sacrificing your own race. Sometimes it's better to let them through. Sometimes it's better to put up a really, really heavy fight. Sometimes it's better to just, straddle that wall and see which way it goes. But on a power circuit like this, you really don't want to spend too long in high defense because your pace will drop so quickly. A circuit like Monaco, by all means, slap it in high defense and you become, especially with realistic racing, you become almost untouchable. Almost. But on a circuit like this, where you've got such wide open opportunities, thing that's helping keep Raikkonen at bay is the fact that he's now having to defend from Massa. So 2 seconds back to Webber. There he is. 7 laps to go. Can we keep him at bay? Webber will probably be on me before lap 54. I won't be so surprised if he gets on me at the end of this lap. I've got nearly a full battery with Schumacher, but if I use it all, I won't have anything to defend in the last couple of laps when Webber will dump whatever he's got. So I can use some battery, but I'd have to use it sparingly. Is Rosberg slowing down? No, it doesn't look like he had a quick lap. The gap has come down. 7. No. I need a better acceleration because he's got the DRS. Ah, he's got me. He's got me. Or has he? Oh, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. He's got me. Right, we'll see if we can stay with him and then maybe go back after Rosberg. Massa is through on Raikkonen, but he's now 6.5 seconds behind. Deploying the battery, I can barely keep up with Mark. Yeah, those next upgrades will hopefully bring us closer to the pace of the top 3 teams. We do seem to have overtaken Lotus and moved it to the 4th best team with this round of upgrades.
Let's have maximum pace this lap.
Letting the poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Yep. And we're on target as well. This is the targets that we set with the sponsors. 6 and 8th. I thought it was 6th and 7th. So even if Massa catches us, we're still safe. But I think we're okay against Massa. taken a second out of us in the last couple of laps. But he's not lapping quick enough to be able to catch and pass us. This has been an absolute doddle for Vettel today. So comfortable. Once he got ahead in those opening laps and started to just stretch his legs a little bit, I did say that was probably it, game over, and he was just going to scamper off into the distance. And lo and behold, it's exactly what happened, as we have a Marussia off. That is Chilton having a little wobble at turn 13.
There's a yellow flag now. Let's see what happened there. Here we are then, reaching turn 13. Whoa, and around they spin. And once it started, they were pretty powerless to do anything.
Three and a half laps left for our drivers. We're still 5 seconds ahead of Massa, so we're looking good for 7th place. Rosberg and Webber are now going to start going toe-to-toe. Hopefully they'll slow each other down a bit and give Schumacher a chance to try and close up. Well, I get the feeling this will be pretty much a drive-by for Webber. Unfortunately, we just don't have enough pace to actually catch up, as Ricciardo kind of getting caught up a little bit there in that little fight. And Di Resta on those soft tyres is actually closing us down, and he might be able to sneak his way through here. See if we get the DRS. No, we didn't. And that might save Webber. It might save, Ricciardo over Di Resta here. No, Di Resta dives up the inside. I think he's going to complete that move. He has. Falling further away from those two. All right, let's stamp the battery on now. Into the final 2 laps.
Use deploy.
Seb crosses the line to start the final lap. He is really quick at the moment with the 1:33.6 on that last lap. He's 17.5 seconds clear of Hamilton as well. He could box now and come out in second place ahead of Alonso. That's how comfortable it is. Got a yellow flag. Who has made the mistake? No, it's just Guido van der Garde. That does not help us. Don't toy with my toy with my emotions there, Guido. Webber does now finally get through on Rosberg. That's been building for a couple of laps now. Massa is still 5.5 seconds behind us. Raikkonen has not been able to keep up with him at all, though. He's over 7 seconds back from Massa. So yeah, we do look like we have made some progress with our car. We are definitely quicker than Lotus, at least here, anyway. I'm not sure where we're going after this. That is next week's Grand Prix. We'll see in a moment when we get back to HQ what the calendar has in store for us. As Seb wins.
And it's a win for the Red Bull.
What an amazing finish to a thrilling race. It's a real testament to their skill and the team's engineering.
Yeah, it's a shame that we don't have the head model for Sebastian Vettel. Considering it was in the last game, it could have been brought across. I don't know if Kevin knows how to do that or not, though. So Webber gets 4th. Rosberg will take 5th. It will be 6th for Schumacher. 7th for Jensen. Decent result today. We achieved our targets for both drivers. Brought home some decent points. 8 points for Schumacher, 6 points for Jensen, 14 for the team. But more importantly, we've moved ahead of Lotus. They finished 9th and 10th, and quite a distant 9th and 10th in the end as well.
Okay, buddy, that's the checkered flag.
Who knows if we could have been a
P7,
bit
buddy,
more
P7.
competitive if we'd gone for the two-stop and
Well
just
done, buddy,
pushed the
on
tyres.
top right.
Given the track temperature, would have meant tyres would have overheated. Maybe, maybe not.
Look after the fuel on the in lap.
We certainly would have worked the engines a bit harder, I think.
And on our screens at the moment, the McLaren driver.
7th place at the end of that one, and some points for the team.
Now, Karun, with that result in mind, what would they be feeling like down at McLaren?
They did okay today, I'd say. I mean, we're talking about such a competitive field, and all things considered, the drivers did all right.
And that is about that for this weekend's action here in Bahrain.
Formula One will be back to Europe for the next round, on the shores of the Mediterranean, with some heated competition to look forward to in Spain.
So, confirmation then of the final result. It is Sebastian Vettel getting another win ahead of Hamilton and Alonso. Webber up 4 places to take 4th and got the fastest lap as well, finishing ahead of Nico Rosberg. Then it's Schumacher in P6, Jensen in P7. We lost a couple of places. That's to be expected given where our car is performance-wise, but at least we got a decent result. We beat Massa, so that's, you know, a small step forward. And more importantly, we beat Raikkonen and Grosjean, and quite comfortably beat those two as well. So that's more encouraging. Then in P11, it was Sutil with Hulkenberg in P12. 13th was Di Resta, 14th for Ricciardo, 15th for Verne, 16th for Gutierrez, 17th for Valtteri, 18th for Pastor Maldonado, who was 2 laps down. Then it was Guido van der Garde and Charles Pic in 19th and 20th. Also 2 laps down, and then 3 laps down were the 2 Mauritius of Jules Bianchi and Max Chilton. Let's take a look at the drivers' standings. So Seb top, 3 wins now, puts him on 90 points. Teammate Webber has the other win so far this season, so pretty strong start to the season for Red Bull. 64 points for Webber, so he's 26 behind his teammate Alonso moves up a place, as does Lewis Hamilton. They both overtake Nico Rosberg. Alonso now on 49 points, Hamilton on 48, Rosberg on 46. So very, very tight in the fight for third at the moment. Raikkonen stays in P6. He's on 30 points now. Schumacher up 2 places into 7th on 22. Level but ahead now of Felipe Massa. And then Jensen 2 points further back in P9. It's Grosjean in P10 with 9 points. Then De Resta with 4 points in 11th. Then the rest of the field still yet to get off the mark. It is Sutil from Verne, then Ricciardo, Hulkenberg, Bottas, Peak, Gutierrez, Guido van der Garde, Max Chilton, Pastor Maldonado, and Jules Bianchi. In the constructors' standings, Red Bull with 154 points already. They are 60 points clear of Mercedes in second, who have 94. Ferrari in third have 71. We move ahead of Lotus in the constructors' standings. We're up to fourth now with 42 points, 3 ahead of Lotus, who have 39. Then Force India with 4 points. And then, again, no one else has got off the mark yet. It is Toro Rosso from Sauber, Williams from Caterham, and Marussia. Pit stop time. Let's see. Did we get any points at all? No, we did not. Ferrari get the quickest stop. It's Toro Rosso in second. Caterham in third and 7th. So both of their cars in the top 10. Force India 4th and 10th. Mercedes get 5th. Williams 6th. Sauber in 8th. And Red Bull picking up a couple of points in 9th. So the standings look like this. Red Bull still top, but the gap now just 3 points as Ferrari move past us into second place. They're on 76. No points for us means we stay on 68. Toro Rosso up a place into 4th. They're on 42 points. Big points for Caterham. They're now on 40 points. They're up 2 places into 5th. Williams down 2 places. They're now on 35 points. Then Force India with 28. 22 points for Lotus. 10 points for Mercedes. They're finally off the board. Off the bottom of the table. Sauber dropped down to 10th. And it's Marussia now dropping down to the bottom. Still yet to score a point in this competition. There's our 2 stops. A 2.54. About 300ths shy of getting onto the bottom of the board. And not even close for Jensen. Both drivers do hit their sponsor targets though. So we make 1.375 mil. Let's head back to HQ and get prepped for wherever we're going next. Okay, our boardroom upgrade has dropped. Did it drop in time to cheer up the board? Or are they still going to be very, very grumpy? Let's find out. Then Barnacote goes up to a 60 overall rating there. We have a spare side pod. And a spare suspension. And here we are, back at HQ. So, let's check in with the board, shall we? Nope. Didn't make any difference. They're still disappointed. Yeah, they're expecting podiums minimum by the look of it. And we're just not there. We're just not there yet. You know, maybe by the end of the year. This year's all about trying to build for next season, especially with very, very minimal reg changes, I hope. We'll we're waiting to see the results of that. Barcelona is our next track. Okay, right. Boardroom upgrade, 2.5 mil. Bit pricey, but yeah, we need as much help as we can get, keeping the board cushy. So that'll be an extra 5% confidence gain in 48 days. That's a way to go. Right, into the inbox. Let's see, quite a few emails to go through. The board wants us to come to the next race. I'm tempted to tell them to piss off. But if we could somehow pull out a really good race, that would be a huge help for us. Let's have a look then. So, Michael Schumacher is unhappy about his contract bonus. Well, tough. He's not getting a better one than that. Enthusiastic overall, though. Button overall enthusiastic. Neutral about his personal driver standings. That's fine. Tom Stallard does not like anybody else on the team. So he's only positive overall. Everyone else in the back room is enthusiastic. Stoffels positive. Oh, Nick de Vries. I forgot about Nick de Vries. I don't think he's actually doing anything on our team. So we'll have to hunt him down. See if he is doing something. Let's do that now before I forget. Yeah, he's not on our list of guys there. So let's go to drivers and let's go to scouting information. Because he's hired, we'll have that information here. And now we can go here and see what his marketability is. 74. So let's put him in marketability. There we go. Right. Lots of emails to get through. So research is now unlocked. So we've got the results of the regulation vote. Let's clear those emails off. Let's have a look at our post-race data. Cars came through unscathed, which is good. Expected finish was 7th and we beat that. And expected finish was 8th and we beat that. But apparently the board don't care about that. Let's see. We voted for 10% changes, and it's going to be 5% changes. So while it does mean that we won't get quite as much taken off the top teams as we were hoping for, it's still minimal changes to the regs, to the point where we do not need to worry about putting any hours into research at the end of this season. We can keep putting our hours into car development, and as long as we do some minor research, we can cover off those changes, I think. So yeah, we can really push development on the car this year and try and get it into a good window for next season. Right, board attendance. Oh. Yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Oh yeah, that's a big improvement. Got a file that we can throw on for next week. Right, what was I going to do? Let's go to car developments. We've got 11 days till Barcelona. And we've got nothing available in here because we've still got projects going through, and these aren't going to drop till after Spain. Only one build queue going at the moment. That's chassis, and that'll be finished in 8 days. One last chassis to make. Might need to add an extra one. Nope, we got 3 already, so that's good. That's good. So we're looking good in terms of spare parts. So 10.78 mil. Do we maybe want to drop an upgrade on something? cost 10 mil. It's a bit too much. What about staff? That will cost 6.5 mil. Quite pricey. 8 mil, very pricey. And then we could maybe bump that up. The hospitality area upgrade is going to be huge. $4.2 mil just to get it up to level 4. Let's drop an upgrade on the memorabilia room, because at the very least it'll give us an extra couple of mentality boost points for our team, which will hopefully just keep the stats bumped a little bit better. We are using the reduced confidence boosting mod as well, so we're only getting +2s. If we go to our stats, you can see +2 for peak mentality as opposed to +5 or so. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be doing another... Well, I don't think he was planning on doing another update. Because I sent him a load of stuff a couple of months back as to changes to make. And a couple got done. I then sent him some more. And I don't know if those are going to get done. Last I spoke to him was about 3 weeks ago. And he said that he probably wasn't going to get another update out on this one. Because I was initially holding back this series for that update. But... you know, with the other mods that he was working on and the 2026 stuff, he just didn't have the time. So, but I mean, if you can send me the file, I'll certainly throw it into this series going forward. Right. Let me check how our driver training's coming on for Mick. Race strategy. What's his stats looking like at the moment? So, his reaction stats are really strong at the moment. 49. That's by far his strongest stat. Let's see. Yeah, I think we just leave him on race strategy. Those are probably his 3 weakest stats, and any boost to reactions is always a good thing. So we'll leave him on that. What else can we do? Not a huge amount else, I don't think. So let's advance time. Our tour center hits level 5. That's now going to give us the maximum amount each week. That's nice. So we'll get an extra 97,000 just under every week now. Chassis, so we now have 2 spares for every part. A GP3 talent is being recommended to us. Connor Daly. Don't really think we need any more young talent. We've got a lot of affiliates already. If anything, we'd probably do with trimming that down a little bit. Oh, we were going to look at the contract situation, weren't we? Yeah, Button has 2 more years to go on his deal. So, yeah, Button's not getting replaced. And Schumacher's got 3 years to go because we just signed him. And then he will be retiring at the end of that. We brought him out of mothballs just for this playlist. And then I think he'll be like 48 years old by the time he retires. So, yeah, that'll be time to retire. And the memorabilia room upgrade is done. Very nice. That will give us a little bit of extra marketability, hopefully to help with sponsors. And then it gives us a bit more of a boost to our mentality as well, which is always going to be a good thing. Right. Strategy prep for Spain is warm, no rain is the expected forecast. 24 degrees air temp. Going to be a little overcast on race day. We will have to keep an eye on tyre temps, but our car is pretty good with tyre wear. It's not the best, but it's in the top 5 at the moment, as you can see. So looking pretty good there. DRS is looking pretty strong. Speed's looking pretty strong. Yeah, we're in pretty good shape. We're in pretty good shape. And with the upgrades that are coming, we should be able to take a nice little step forward on top of that as well. There you can see the chassis. This is more about building expertise up a bit more. It's not really going to give us huge gains, but this is just kind of balancing out after that first one that was pre-built for us. The underfloor is going to give us some nice little average gains across the board. Take a little bit of weight off, a little bit of small improvement to dirty air, a little bit of extra downforce, a tiny bit of extra speed and acceleration. The front wing is going to give us a really nice boost in the low speed, a little bit in the medium and the high, a nice little boost to our dirty air, and a slight little nudge on the tyre wear as well. And then the side pods going to give us a nice little bit of speed and acceleration, some good downforce across the board, and will improve our engine cooling as well. So we've got some really nice upgrades coming. Individually, they're not going to provide a massive amount of extra performance, but as a package, they should work quite nicely for us. And we've got enough money in the bank that when we can then get some more stuff going, when we come back from Barcelona, we'll be able to do some more intense builds and really try and, as I say, push the development of the car this year with minimal changes to the regulations for next season, just a 5% drop across every aspect of the car. It's pretty well balanced, which means that we can minimize the amount of research we have to do. We still need to do some, but we do not have to put any of our wind tunnel or MAU hours into that. So we can focus really heavily on trying to improve the car as much as possible this season, ready to try and mount a challenge next season, assuming we don't get fired by the board for not winning the Constructors. So that's where we are now. When we come back next week on Monday, we'll be going to Spain, and then the race after Spain is Monaco. So that's next week's races, Monday and Tuesday. Tomorrow we're going to be doing some F1 Legend, or Formula Legend, as I should say. We'll be streaming that from the usual time, 8 PM. We'll have a bit of fun with that game. And then Thursday and Friday, we'll be back on F1 Manager again with our Cadillac series in Season 6 in the home straight now, getting close to the end of the season, the end of the series. So hopefully you'll join me for that. And again, that'll be usual start time of 8 PM. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed tonight's stream and you haven't already done so, thumbs up, always appreciated. If you're on a mobile, then give us some hype. It's this new thing. I don't know how it works, but apparently it'll help. So yeah, give me some hype if you're on a mobile. And then hit that bell for notifications. Hit that subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed. Share the video with your friends. Spread the word. And I will see you all again with some more F1 Manager very soon.